For decades, the European Union has been seen as a symbol of peace, unity, and economic progress.
But recent years have brought a series of unprecedented shocks that have shattered that sense of stability.
From the energy crisis and war on the continent to deep political fragmentation, the EU is struggling to find its footing.
In this video, we will break down the structural reasons behind Europe's current instability and explore what its future holds. Welcome back to William. Note that the information presented here is compiled from many sources, so please comment below if there are any errors or necessary corrections.
You can also join the William fan page or the Fuckbow community group for crypto knowledge. Links are in the description.
The biggest shock came from the energy sector.
For decades, Europe relied on cheap Russian natural gas.
This was the fuel for its massive industrial complex, particularly in Germany.
The war in Ukraine and subsequent sanctions instantly severed that vital supply line. Many energy-intensive German manufacturers began shifting production to the US, where energy remains cheap.
Europe effectively swapped a dependence on Russian gas for a dependence on expensive US LNG and military security. This greatly diminished Europe's strategic autonomy and economic independence.
The energy shock quickly exposed and intensified Europe's internal economic fragmentation.
The Eurozone saw the gap widen between the stable North, led by Germany, and the highly indebted southern and eastern members. The European Central Bank raised interest rates to control inflation, but this hit southern countries hardest. The high debt burdens in countries like Italy and Greece became more expensive to service, threatening fiscal stability. The political conflict in the EU Council intensified over issues like common debt issuance and industrial subsidies. Beyond economics, Europe is facing a structural political crisis centered on the rise of far-right and populist movements.
Years of economic stagnation, immigration issues, and the pain of the energy crisis have fueled intense public frustration.
This resentment is being channeled into support for anti-establishment parties across France, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. The result is a more fragmented European Parliament and national governments that are increasingly turning inward.
The political center is struggling to maintain cohesion, making ambitious, coordinated EU policies increasingly difficult to achieve.
All these factors converge on the loss of Europe's strategic sovereignty. Europe is caught between the geopolitical ambitions of the US and the economic competition of China. The core question is whether Europe can reform its institutions and political will to act as a unified, independent global power.
Or will it remain a fragmented economic bloc, perpetually dependent on external military and energy decisions?
The next few years will define whether the European project can overcome its internal contradictions and secure a truly independent future. The next few years will define whether the European project can overcome its internal contradictions and secure a truly independent future.